literacy, mental health, education, and youth development. I am Cheyenne Leatherwood, and I will be your session moderator. Let's start with a bit of housekeeping. The session is being recorded, and we ask that participants keep both your audio and video off during the presentation portion of the session. This will protect the bandwidth and hopefully prevent potential issues with lag.
Can you forgive me?
We have 4 great internships to hear about, so let's get started. Our featured intern presenters are Alex Akers, intern at Reach in Norfolk, Virginia; Latasha Jackson, intern at Covenant House, Texas in Houston, Texas; Erica Cabrera Cervantes, intern at the Camino Elementary School in Niederwald, Texas; Jalisa Rosemond, service learning intern in Corpus Christi, Texas. We will begin by viewing the video reports they have prepared for us, followed by a question and answer where we will be able to ask focused questions about their specific internship experiences.
Hello, my name is Alex. I am a family literacy intern at Reach, a nonprofit organization that helps provide free books to underprivileged children and families. Reach stands for Reading Enriches All Children. They do this by distributing books to the Norfolk and Virginia Beach public schools and other organizations in the area that can help children with literacy, and by running the Big Free Bookstore, where anyone is welcome to have new and gently used books for free. We're going to discuss part of my strategic plan. We will look at a few lab artifacts that represent things I have done during my time at Reach that I am proud of. I'll reflect on my time at Reach and the things I have learned, and then I will give thanks to those who have helped me to achieve my goals. My main goal was to achieve a better understanding of running a family-centered nonprofit organization. The one objective for this goal that I felt needed the most help was understanding administrative and financial aspects of the organization. I was able to achieve this by creating a new policy for the bingo fundraisers that Reach hosts every Sunday. Any new volunteers that work these fundraisers are shown this new policy before they can start their shift. This policy will be used even after my time at Reach has ended. I was shown how they manage their finances, from what they pay for new books for the bookstore, and how much they make in fundraising and donations. Two artifacts I am proud of is the Easter Read Aloud and the book drive. These are 2 events that I planned, created, facilitated, and advertised for. For the Easter Read Aloud, I created all the graphics that were used to advertise on Facebook. I planned and set the crafts to be done with the children. I stuffed many, many Easter eggs, and on the day of the event, I was in charge of where the volunteers worked and making sure we stayed on schedule. For the book drive, I hosted it at my place of work and created a flyer to pass out and made a box that would stand out to place at the entrance to make it easier for anyone wanting to donate. This book drive collected over 100 books to donate to the bookstore. During my time at Reach, I have discovered that I have the skills it takes to be a leader. I was put in charge of many things and showed time and time again that I was able to lead the volunteers. I have learned about all the planning that goes into trying to bring in business and set up for fundraising. I was taught how to set up a grant application. For a nonprofit, this is a very important thing to learn in order to expand your organization to greater things. I also learned how to communicate to different types of people in different situations. There is a difference to how you speak with your volunteers and how you would speak to present how the company is run. To wrap up, I want to say thank you to Ella and Jen for teaching me many things during my time with Reach. You ladies have made it such an enjoyable and educational journey for me. I have met many amazing people from the many different organizations that we have worked with. Not only did I learn more about business and administrative skills, I have learned some amazing information on how to help young children with literacy. Many of these things are being used in my classroom to help the children with their reading. Even when my time is up as your intern, I will always remember the life lessons and skills I've learned along the way. Thank you again to you and all the volunteers and staff I have met during this amazing adventure.
Hi there, my name is Latasha Jackson, and I am currently a senior majoring in family studies. I am a mental health intern at Camino, Texas in the year 2024. Covenant House Texas is a faith-based organization in Houston, Texas that offers shelter and support for homeless, abused, and abandoned youth from age 18 to 24. If they have children, it also helps to house their children from newborn to 5 years old. Covenant House Texas provides various free services, including housing, counseling, training programs, outreach, and more. Just a quick overview about what this presentation is about. I'm going to talk to you about my strategic plan, what I hope to gain from this whole experience in my internship. I'm going to discuss 2 of my favorite lab artifacts with you. I'm going to also talk about an event that I did that I was really excited to do and want to discuss with you guys, and also give acknowledgement and thank you to my site supervisor. My goal throughout this internship is to be better equipped to help homeless youth. If I'm better equipped, I can help elevate the voices of the homeless youth. We can collaborate together and bring awareness to youth homelessness and maybe even help to prevent it. While interning, I have helped with over 5 psychotherapy sessions with up to 15 youth. In those classes, we discussed life skills like stress management, communication, and decision making. We also discussed issues like depression, anxiety, and substance abuse. Now we're going to go ahead and talk about my 2 favorite lab artifacts. The first one will be the journal series. The journal series was a collaboration between me and my site supervisor. When we have our psychotherapy sessions, every now and again we may give them some things to kind of get them to participate, like a stress ball or a fun little toy, or maybe a pen or a pencil or a notepad. She had a couple of journals that she wanted to use for the type of things that we give the youth when we have these sessions. I suggested that maybe we have like a journal session every now and again when they have their psychotherapy sessions. And she thought it was a good idea. So we came up with the journal series. So anytime we have our psychotherapy sessions, we will begin it first with journaling. And I will give them about 5 to 10 minutes to journal. And we will have some topics. Some topics will be, what do you do for self-care? How are you feeling today? Or where do you see yourself in 5 years? And we may even have free thought for you just to go ahead and express yourself freely. What are you feeling today? Do you want to draw? Go ahead and draw in it. Do you want to add pictures? Go ahead and add pictures. So that is the journal series. The next artifact will be the trifold brochure. It is just a basic brochure that explains the history of Covenant House. It gives the hours of operation, the website, the number you can call. It also has homeless youth statistics and facts, and also explains the programs that Covenant House has to offer the youth. The annual rodeo event is something that Covenant House has every year in February. Around the same time, we have the Houston Rodeo. It was a fun event. I invited my brother with me. I got to see how the staff and the youth interact with each other. It is one big happy family. At this event, we had barbecue There was first place, second place, third place winners. There was bull riding. There was a real bull. Also, there was music. There was dancing. It was a lot of fun. And I do plan on going to this event every year and bringing people with me in support of Camino House, Texas. Also got to witness the positive impact of group therapy on the young individuals. Some of them are kind of hesitant when it comes to the therapy, but as they keep coming to it, they open up more, they're sharing their feelings, and they trust us more. And I can definitely appreciate that. And I know it's something that they needed, just to talk and to gain some skills like life skills, help with communication, help if they have any issues with depression or anxiety. This is definitely something that they needed, and I'm glad that I'm able to witness this. And now we cannot forget my site supervisor, Mrs. Torquis Pipes Parnell. She is the director of mental health at Camino House, Texas. It has been a pleasure working with her. I've learned a lot from her. And one of my favorite memories is us collaborating with the journal series. Thank you, Ms. Torquis.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our 2024 internship program. My name is Erica, and I will be go ahead and presenting my PowerPoint to y'all. So I was able to intern at the school I actually work for at Camino Real Elementary. So it was really helpful in my situation as I already do work full time. And of course, I'm a student like everyone else. And I was taking full-time courses, so I just needed something that would work with my schedule since I did have a pretty busy schedule. So all the cards ended up lining up, which was really great and was super helpful for me. But here we go, you guys. I'll be go ahead and presenting on Camino Real Elementary. I was the family liaison intern for 2024. And of course, my name is Erica Cabrera Cervantes. And here's our little school motto at the end. Beep, beep, have a great day. And here's a little picture of the school on the left. We will be going over the overview. We will have an introduction, a general overview, a strategic plan. I will be sharing some of the lab artifacts I've been working on throughout the semester, and our reflection, and a special thank you. Here we have our strategic plan objective, which is family and student engagement, which our campus actually struggles with a lot. Many parents struggle due to come into our school. I know it's hard for those people, especially if they're working one job or two. No one knows what the hours are like, and if responsibilities outside of work, it can be difficult for those parents to come in. So some of our goals I and Ms. Trupia have come up with throughout the semester was to increase our social media usage, to communicate throughout that way, since we were like, how can we get messages across to parents versus the traditional paper route? We know parents are on their phones, they have social media, so what of a better way than to spread information? And of course, understanding those family needs, supporting those parent and student relationships. Like I said, sometimes it's hard for parents to be with their kiddos due to work and other circumstances. And of course, understanding our parents' work and home life. I know it's hard for some parents to be able to take some time to come down to the school to work with us or their students. Okay, and here are some of my artifacts I've actually been working on throughout the semester. Of course, we've worked on so many things, but here just a bit of the things we have been up to. On the left-hand side at the top, we have the No Place for Hate posters. We actually had a contest at our school that encouraged all the kids for our No Place for Hate. And we did like a little voting contest on that. And on the bottom left, we have our friendship dance. And that was one idea that the school came up with. And we thought of what if a better way than to make parents and their kiddos engage together and hang out. This wasn't like a regular dance. We made the parents stay. On the slip, it said must be attended with a parent. So it was great to see them hang out together, dance around, play games, do all the parent things. And of course, I have up top the Kiwanis Club of Kyle and Buda. We did a coat drive with them. They were able to donate some new coats for us, and we were able to hand them out to some of our kiddos in need. And then in the middle, we have our donations of new stuffed animals for our sister school, Tom Green Elementary, which, if you didn't know, one of our kiddos had passed away from there due to a bus accident, along with another individual. So we were just trying to support the kiddos by collecting those stuffed animals for them for the grieving process. And here are some other of the artifacts presented. And here's the reflection, what we were able to accomplish throughout the semester. We were able to increase our social media output on Facebook and Instagram for those events, and just regular communication with parents to keep them updated on what's going on in the school, and being able to encourage parent engagement with those activities like field day, the dance, and other little things here and there, like pastries with the principal. And well, we thought of how could we get more of those parents in here, and we were just like, where there's a will, there's a way. We're gonna find a way to make other events. I know it's hard to work with parents and their time schedules. And of course, promoting more after school activities. Like this year, it was our first time hosting the nutrition club, and of course the Costco reading buddies to help our students grow in reading and help those STAR scores. And of course, I'd like to give a special thank you to Ms. Trupia for letting me be her intern this semester. I learned so much, and I am so grateful for her and everything she has done with me and helped me throughout this semester. And of course, let's go Roadrunners.
Alrighty, so good evening. My name is Rosemond, and I am doing a PowerPoint on my service learning project that I've been working on throughout this semester. I had the privilege of working on this service learning project. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to do an internship, but I was able to volunteer at some local organizations and get some feedback and work with students and youth, with families, and I got to learn a lot throughout that experience. So without further ado, I will go into my presentation. So first off, I want to give a little background of who I am and why I chose this topic. I am a mother and a caregiver. I'm passionate about helping people, working with people, and ensuring that people feel important and know and learn that who they are and what purpose they have on this earth. We all were created with a purpose, and so it's important to me to help people learn their purpose and figure out who they are as individuals. So the topic I chose it because it's important to me to ensure that everyone receives everything they need to be successful, and to ensure that also everyone becomes confident within themselves. So the social issue that I chose is the negative effects on the development of youth within families, schools, community, and due to the lack of resources. So we can agree that it takes a lot of resources, and it takes money to raise a child successfully. You need resources, or you need money to purchase food, just basic resources such as food, clothes, water, shoes, things along those lines, books, tutoring, childcare. The list goes on of just the basic resources that we need for children and to raise our children. And so my issue I chose with the negative effects on the development. So, to not have those resources, it can have a negative effect on the development of children. Needs analysis. So, what do children need? Children need financial support, access to tutoring, extracurricular activities, guidance and mentors, food, clothes, sense of belonging, and healthcare. So with financial support, kind of as I mentioned in the last slide, with financial support, that's just gonna be, the more money, the better, because you're able to afford to get the basic things that you need and some. And, especially in family settings where you have more than one child. With more than one child, you need more money because you need to purchase more resources for those multiple children. Access to tutoring. So in school can be challenging for some students. There's learning disabilities that, you may be dealing with. And then there's just other challenges that you may be dealing with in different subjects that a student may struggle in. And having access to tutoring is another form of a resource that you can have for your child. Extracurricular activities such as, youth sports and church events and church organizations and school groups that they can be in. Getting our children involved in extracurricular activities will, one, decrease the likelihood of them getting into mischievous behaviors, but also it would increase the likelihood of them getting involved in our community and contributing to society. Guidance and mentorships. Guidance helps children form goals and helps children kind of learn who they are, discover their purpose, get advice whenever they need advice, answer questions that they may have. And so that guidance is what we usually give from parents and mentors. Food and proper diet, it's important that they get the proper nutrients in order to live a healthy lifestyle, in order to perform to the best of their ability. Clothes, it's important that we ensure that they have proper fitting clothes, that they are decent, that they're clean, and that they are taken care of. A sense of belonging. Everyone wants to belong. It's important that our children feel like they belong in their families, feel like they belong at school, feel like they involve in church and in the community. Healthcare kind of goes along with food. When I said about food, that we have to ensure that they are living a healthy life and have all the resources that they can to get treated for any sicknesses or diseases. Development of children. The development of youth is shaped by many factors throughout life. First factor is at home with family. The second factor is in school with teachers and peers. And the third factor is in the community, which includes church and extracurricular activities. So our environment is what shapes us. What we are exposed to can definitely have a big effect on who we are in our development. Domestic issues within families. The unfortunate truth is that many children are faced with issues within environmental factors that I mentioned in the previous slide, such as neglect, exploitation, abuse, and bullying. It's unfortunate that our children have to experience this because they didn't ask to be here. They're brought up in situations that they didn't ask to be brought up in. And it's unfortunate because they're innocent. The development of youth starts at home. We must remember that our children did not ask to be here, so it's our responsibility to raise them. Thank you.
Does retinol really work?
All right. Great video reports. Now it's time to open up for Q&A with the interns. Alex was unable to be with us this morning, but Latasha, Erica, and Jalisa Please turn on your cameras now so we can see you, and we ask that all attendees keep your cameras off for the duration of this session so that we can focus on the interns. We also ask that all attendees leave your microphones off unless you are asking a question. This will help keep any unexpected sounds from distracting the rest of the session. If you have a question for one of the interns, please use the raise hand feature and I will call on you to ask your question. The raise hand is found in the meeting toolbar to the left of the red leave button. You can also raise your hand by clicking Control, Shift, and K at the same time. If you'd prefer to type your question, feel free to type it in the session chat and I will read it to the interns before we begin. I want to remind everyone that this session is being recorded. I'll start off the Q&A with a question for Latasha. Your internship was at a homeless shelter. What was something that you learned during your internship that was unexpected?
Latasha, we can't hear you. Your mic is off.
I'm talking on mute. Sorry, guys. What was unexpected for me was the amount of homeless youth that were in the shelter that actually had family, meaning people who were still around. They basically had no help from anyone for the most part. And the family that they did have here, it was very minimal help. So that was kind of surprising to me. Like, you have family, but you're homeless in the street and you're struggling. And also just noticing the amount of children that are with their parents. Because like I stated in the video, this is for newborn to 5 years old to where they can keep the kids with them. And it was a plethora of them that I saw there. So that was kind of what kind of caught me off guard. Oh, anybody have any questions in regards to that? Sorry. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I don't think I was talking.
So I do have a question. You know, homelessness is my thing. So I find it interesting that it was surprising about the youth having family, having biological family, but yet they're not with their biological family. So what are some of your observations about why that is?
From my observation, it may have to do with the mental state with some of them, because I did notice some of them kind of had mental health issues. Some of them were abused, and they maybe have cut off their family too, from what I noticed with some of them. So that could be a factor, like they cut off their family, they want nothing to do with them, or it could just be their mental health issues that they're having, so the family isn't there supporting them, or they won't let them help them.
Great, thank you.
Welcome.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Did your internship change how you view society's response to the role of parents or mental health?
Did it change my view?
How did it change your view?
How did it change my view? Okay, let me think about that. It just makes me sad, because it just makes me realize that a lot of people don't get the support of their parents when they reach a certain age. It's like, okay, you're 17, get out. Okay, you got pregnant, get out. Okay, you have mental health issues, get out. It's no help and no support from the people that I would think would help the kids the most is their parents. Your parents are supposed to be your safe space. They're supposed to be someone you go to when you're scared. And some people don't have that. And some of them, their parents may have died and they still don't have the help of their aunts and uncles, or, you know, someone close to them, and they're just like, okay, I'm going to be in the streets. Okay, let me try to find a place I can go and get shelter. And they end up at Company House. And some of them would take advantage of it. and some of them will not. They end up leaving, or they can't make up their minds. I want to stay at Covenant House. I want to go back in the streets. Do I want to do this and that? So it just made me realize that a lot of people don't have the support they need. Did that answer your question?
I think that would be tough.
You were breaking up. I'm sorry.
I think that it would have been tough to see how that would play out with different individuals.
It was tough, like especially in the psychotherapy classes. I noticed how some of them interact when we have it. Like she'll ask them, so at the end of the meetings, the group sessions, how do you feel? And some of them be like, I have anxiety, and they don't want to talk about it. It's like, I have anxiety, and just like they don't want to talk. So it's something wrong, it's something that's bothering them, and I have to see that, like, I want to hug you so bad, but I can't. So yeah, it's really hard seeing that, because I know even just looking at their paperwork, because I do the individual sessions with her too. They do it through Zoom, and you do have to look at their paperwork because someone has to sign it, and you just see some of the things like, oh, this is so sad. Like, I hate this happened to you. But I know they're going to be in good hands with Covenant House, because they have many programs to help them. And I recently saw a girl leave out the program and got her own apartment. So that was pretty cool to see. So yeah, it's a great benefit for them. And it's great to see them go through the program and leave like, hey, I'm good now. I got an apartment. I got a job. So that's the good part of it.
That's awesome. All right. It looks like we have a question. Nicoletta.
Yes, hello. I actually have this question for all of the interns, if you can all answer it. I will be looking myself for internships or service project opportunities. What was the hardest part about looking for those internships or service opportunities, as well as what really kind of guided you to the ones you selected? And what advice would you give us upcoming interns on choosing service projects or internships?
Y'all want me to go first? I go first. I knew I wanted to do Covenant House because years ago, I was doing something with my friends. We were going around homeless shelters and figuring out what we needed to do to help. And we came across Covenant House, and we noticed, oh, this is for youth. This isn't for men or women. It's the youth. So we decided to go and ask people like, hey, guys, you have some clothes want to donate or any toiletries? And we went there. And I was like, okay, this would be a nice place to maybe volunteer at. And then it came for the internship. I was like, oh, okay, well, I think I'll go to Covenant House. And that's what kind of got me there. And also just thinking about the youth, how I wanted to, families, I wanted to work more with the youth. And I thought this would be a good idea to just go with the youth and see what they're experiencing, what they're going through. And that's what guided my decision to Covenant House.
So I didn't get the opportunity to do an internship. Unfortunately, I had to do a service area project, which is not it's not unfortunate. It was definitely a lot that I learned, but from the service area project, I was able to choose like my social issue that I wanted. And the most challenging part for me was like the needs analysis, and it's because like trying to come up with like everything and trying to figure out all of it kind of on my own and not really having many people or an organization to go to, and kind of just trying to like go out in the community and learn from different organizations. So fortunately, I was able to connect with this organization called Kid Strong. And so with Kid Strong, I was able to volunteer there and learn a lot about different families and children and get like a lot of experience in that area. So that helped me. It was kind of on my own though throughout this whole entire project, which is kind of good at the same time, but it was challenging, not really having a lot of like organizations that.
After Erica answers the question, I'll come back and I can give a fuller answer to the service learning question.
Okay, so I knew I wanted to work with families, so whenever I started searching for an internship, of course, I had to. Hello? Oh. I had to find something that regarded to families. So I was looking at like a youth a youth group slash shelter like down the street from us, and then I was looking into communities in school, and then I was looking at our family liaison position at our school because we lost our family liaison, so there wasn't anyone there to fulfill the position. And then that's when I decided to do the internship at the school I actually work at, just due to my schedule. Being there all week, it kind of made sense just to get it. That way I could balance my work and internship all at the same time, because I know if I were to go to somewhere else, it was a little bit more of a hassle, like just to make those hours, and some places do have limited hours. So I think it is important just to find somewhere that works with your availability. Of course, I know some people have like families and jobs and such, but at the end it all worked out, and I had a great time at my internship.
So I'll jump in and give a little more kind of background to some of what they're saying. So there are two kind of things going on. First, there is Erica was talking about doing her internship where she is currently working, and that sometimes we're able to work that out. And that happens because we negotiate with the employer to ensure that the experience of the intern will align with the degree program and what we're going for. One of the things that we strive for is that our interns will get a job offer at the end. And so, interns like Erica, who are already in the school setting, to be able to negotiate her interning as a family liaison, that now sets her up for a possibility of getting hired in that position. And so that really is kind of ideal for us. On the other hand, we have Jalisa, who ended up doing a service learning project, which is an intense project. It's yeah, a very intense project where you do have to have a lot of initiative, and you do have to still do the hours. You still are doing all of these things. It's just in a different way, and it's only available in very specific situations. And in Jalisa's situation, she is in Corpus Christi, and quite honestly, we contacted about 27 organizations to try to establish an internship. But I'm not kidding. Am I kidding? I'm not kidding. And after contacting all of these organizations, it was either they didn't have the staff to be able to supervise an intern, or they weren't really large enough to be able to provide any kind of support for the intern, or they just wouldn't talk to us. And because Corpus Christi is relatively small, it really created a barrier. And so we had to think creatively on, okay, how can we still accomplish this goal of this internship? And so that's kind of where the service learning, project concept came from. Really just trying to make lemonade out of a situation, but I think it ended up great. Jalisa had an amazing experience. In another session, y'all are going to hear about another service learning project that was amazing. And so I don't want y'all to think it was just volunteering, because it's not. It's so much more than that. It is an intense process that requires a heck of a lot of initiative. So that's kind of what that looked like. Does anyone have any questions for me about either of these topics? Okay, good. Go away again. Bye.
Lisa, what is one lesson that you will carry with you into your future career? Your mic's off.
Sorry about that. One lesson that I would carry into my future career is something I've always told everybody is that you always got to learn to be a follower before you can lead. And so throughout this experience, I learned how to follow in different, through my volunteering and through all of my extensive research. I've learned that you have to learn to follow before you can lead. And so be a good follower, a good listener, a good communicator, and then that'll make you into a better leader. And so that's one lesson that I'm going to take into my future career and teach to my children and continue on throughout my process of education.
Erica, what is one lesson that you will carry with you into your future career?
So one lesson I will carry on to my future career is, I would say, getting like the bigger picture, like understanding the bigger picture and understanding what all is needed to complete that bigger picture. I feel like, at least like for the things we do for our parents, like no one like understands like what happens behind the scenes. And I guess more of now I have more of an understanding of what all comes together to create those events and make those things happen for the parents and the kids.
Leads me. I would say with what I will take with me is, I notice working with young adults, it should be obvious that you're going to need a lot of patience and understanding and empathy. Some of the some of the young individuals there, they have some big personalities, very big, because we're all adults at the end of the day. So if you're going to work with young adults, you definitely have to have some type of patience, empathy, and no judgment, because you don't know what they're going through and why they're in the situation that they're in. So I'm going to take that with me, Latasha. You're going to have to breathe. It's okay to be frustrated. We're all human, but just breathe, relax, show empathy, understand where they're coming from, and it'll be smooth sailing.
I work with college students like myself. They're just a little bit younger. And that is definitely what I've had to learn as well, is patience. You do not know what they're going through. So, neat. What was the hardest part of your internship, Latasha?
The hardest part?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the thing we talked about earlier, patience. Because if I can share a story, it was the end of the day for me. I was going to go home. I was just talking to one of the coordinators there, the director, and there was this young lady outside just screaming and cursing, I got jumped, all in front of Covenant House. And we're just like, what is happening? And so the director that I was with, she went to talk to the young lady, like, what's going on? Why are you screaming? You're making a scene. Like, are you okay? How can I help you? And the girl was just like upset, angry, yelling. Like, I understand she was frustrated. It wasn't towards us. She was just like, just going off. With okay. So I'm just, patting on her back, like, calm down. It's okay. We understand. And then there was a guy who was supposed to be in the career center. And he just like, what's going on? Like, he was trying to be big and bad because the ladies that jumped her ended up coming to Covenant House. We're like, okay, this is crazy. I don't know what to do. And so he's like, he's going to do something. And we're like, we have a young man, go to the career center, do what you were doing. But he just wanted to be, big and bad. Like, I'm going to do something. I want to help. And I figure, okay, he must be one of the ones who kind of have like a mental health issue. So we have to show some type of patience, empathy. We don't want to escalate it to where he's now going crazy. So with that, okay, Ray, Tasha, observe them to see what they're going to do. So I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. What was it? What did you ask me?
What was the hardest part of your internship?
That was the hardest part. The hardest part for me was like, okay, I have to realize, like, if I'm going to be in this type of environment, in this career, I have to figure out how to de-escalate situations like that. So that was kind of hard for me because I was like, what if I was in a situation and I was not with a director? What would I do? How would I handle the situation? So that was the hardest thing. Like, I don't know what I would do in this situation. Would I just freeze up and be like, okay, I'm gonna figure out what, let them do it and figure it out? So that's hard. Like, I got to figure out what I'm going to do if it gets to the point I have to de-escalate it and no one else is there to do it. So that was hard for me to see. Like, I don't want nobody fighting. I don't want him to get crazy. I don't know if the girls, what they're going to do. They're trying to jump her in front of Covenant House out of all places. So yeah, that was hard. Like, froze up for a second. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, I would have been like, I'm going to turn around maybe. I wouldn't have known what to do.
I was like, no, I gotta watch it. I gotta see this. Figure it out.
That's so funny. Jalisa, what was the hardest part of your journey?
The hardest part of my journey, so like I said, mine is different compared to everybody else's, but the hardest part of my journey was honestly, the initiative part. It was kind of hard trying to take the initiative to find something out in the community to learn and get the experience that I need. I'm sorry, to get the experience that I need, and learn and try to research the issue that I chose. So the hardest part was trying to find something in the community to help me, get all the information that I need. Other than that, though, patience with myself, because I did get frustrated a lot trying to understand what it is to do. But I'm understanding now, and it's coming to an end. So it's like it's feeling good, knowing that everything's coming to an end and it's all working out.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, Erica, what advice would you give to future interns in the Family Studies program?
Just like advice in general?
Yes.
Okay. So, like I said earlier, I would make sure when you're looking for an internship to make sure it all fits and correlates with your schedule, because I know we all have different lives, we all work, we have kids, and we have different responsibilities. So I know that's one struggle. So I would take a little bit more time looking into where you would want to intern in and make sure you check their hours that they have for you to go in, because I know in my situation, at first I was looking at one place, and since I work at a school, I don't get off till like 3:15. This place closes at 5. By the time I get there, it's 30 minutes away. That's only like an hour a day that I would be able to, because I can't request for a substitute like every day. So it'd be more of looking for something that's more flexible for your schedule and just keeping your options open. I know it's kind of difficult to do that with all our responsibilities, but just to what's the word? I guess better yet to like plan out what your life like consists of, like, your responsibilities and such, and see where you can fit in those certain hours and whatnot, and go from there. Because I know some places offer them on the weekends, which might be helpful for someone's situation versus like another person's situation. So it's more about like doing your research and finding what exactly works for you.
All right, does anyone have questions for them?
I would follow up Erica's comment by saying, when you do your consultation for the internship, be honest and make sure that you are being as truthful as possible about your situation, about kind of your responsibilities, so that I have a great picture of what we're working with. Because if you're just trying to gloss over and make everything look beautiful and perfect to me, and then I find out as we're in the middle of the search process that you really don't have a whole day once a week, then we're going to have problems, because makes the process so much more harder than it needs to be. So just be honest with me up front, and I'll work with you to figure out a solution, but we have to be able to kind of work through it together in a truthful, honest place.
I have something to say. To go off of what Professor White just said, so being honest is definitely something that I was during my consultation, because me being honest about my situation, she was able to work with me and be very patient. And throughout this entire process, like, I was asking her so many questions throughout this semester, and she's been like open and honest with me, and I've been open and honest with her, and like she's just been helping me out throughout the entire semester. So if anything, I want to also give her a thanks for just being there through teams and all of that, because like my situation is definitely unique, but she definitely been helpful. So thank you, Professor.
You're gonna make me cry.
Latasha, what advice would you give to future interns in the Family Studies program?
I would say absorb everything that you learn. Because all the information that we have in this program is very helpful. I've learned a lot in this course. So don't be afraid. What I say is don't be afraid to be uncomfortable. And that basically means just get uncomfortable. If you feel uncomfortable, it's okay. You need to learn something. Don't be at a standstill. So yeah, just absorb it all. You're going to learn a lot of helpful information. So when you get in your career, you're like, I know what that means. And you might be able to help somebody else in that field who didn't know it. So it's okay to be uncomfortable. Do your thing. It's all right. Know that you're going to have all these feels. People would say, like, you're going to be sad one minute, you're going to be happy next minute. It's okay. You're only human. But yeah, that's it.
All right.
Not to keep butting in, but to add to that, I would say also, yeah, absolutely. Make yourself uncomfortable by being open to new experiences, things that you maybe never thought you would try. But also to recognize that you have kind of the luxury and privilege of having a safety net. While you're in school, through the classes and through the internship, you have a safety net. Dr. Wallet and I are there to make sure that you are successful, to support you and help you through. And, that really hopefully is encouraging so that you can try new things and not be scared that it's not going to work out. So yeah.
All right, it looks like we are about out of time for this session. Thank you to all of our participants for asking great questions, and a big thank you to our wonderful presenters for sharing their internship experiences with us. When I end this session, you will be back at the website where you originally entered this session. I encourage you to join us in the next session. Thanks for joining us today, and I look forward to seeing you in the next session.
Bye, everyone.